What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KF Podcast. This is our YouTube edition. Tonight we're talking about AEW versus NXT. On the show, it's just me and Dawn.
Yep, this is it. We have Logan sitting here.
But he's stupid, so it doesn't count.
He's just going to listen in.
If you want to listen to our other nonsense, check us out at kfpodcast.com. Check us out at the KF Podcast on all your other social media needs. Also, check out our regular podcast on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud.
You got it. When was the last time we ever did a show just me and you?
I don't think we've ever done a show, me and you.
I don't think so.
No.
I've done one with just Justin before.
Have you done one with just Brock?
I don't think so.
So, yeah, just me and you. See how this goes. It's probably going to suck.
Justin just left because he didn't want to be a part of wrestling talk.
He didn't leave. He's upstairs talking to your wife.
Yeah, he is. So, big news.
Big news.
AEW is going to debut on what? October 2nd.
October 2nd, Washington, D.C., Capital One Arena.
We're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
Okay.
We should podcast after that, too.
We should. We should. So, that's their debut show on TNT. Live show.
Yes.
Traveling every week to a new arena.
Every week.
And they're going to be 2 hours live.
2 hours live. I'd assume that there'd be warm-up matches, so it'll probably be about 3 hours in total. But
okay.
Yeah.
So now, when they first took this Wednesday, they already knew that SmackDown was leaving Tuesday and going to Friday.
Yes.
Because that's been known since the Fox deal.
Yes.
So they were going to. They took Wednesdays. They couldn't take Tuesday because Tuesday's basketball.
Yeah.
So is Thursday. Thursday's basketball.
Yeah.
So really, Wednesday was their day because they're not going to go Mondays.
They're not going to go against Mondays or Fridays.
Yeah.
TNT basketball is huge for them, so they couldn't get Tuesday. So right. Wednesday fit perfect.
So Wednesday fits perfect. So I'm excited about it.
Yes.
I was looking forward to it. NXT has always been on Wednesday.
But it's been on the network.
But it's been on the network and it's recorded. So like sometimes
1 hour.
Yeah. And like sometimes I'll read the spoilers and I'll be like, nothing happened, I'm just gonna skip it.
Like you just told me that Fandango showed up. I knew that months ago because they recorded it and I'm like, oh, they're just not getting to it.
Yeah, you already knew that. Yeah. So like that's been their thing, and like you can watch it whenever. Sometimes I'll watch it on a Friday, Saturday, depending. Whenever.
Sometimes you can binge it. I always liked it because it's a good way to watch it because you didn't have to watch every week for the pay-per-view, the monthly pay-per-view.
Yeah,
you could just watch it at your convenience, and it's on Hulu too.
Yes, so but only like the day after.
Yeah. You can't watch it live. It's
you can't watch it live. Yeah. So WWE announces this week, which I think. Classic Vince McMahon power move.
Yes.
Brings NXT to USA. Yes. Now they have been talking for a long time about the potential of this becoming its own brand.
I've always heard that it might be on FS1 as part of the Fox deal. Like you always heard it going, but never on USA. No. I feel like it was going to be like a side, almost like Velocity or Heat, right. Like one of those old like second or third, incendiary shows.
So what I understand is that USA paid something like $50 million to have this show come to there because they were kind of upset about losing SmackDown.
Which I get.
And so they paid for NXT to come and be...
Talk about a win-win situation for WWE.
Yeah. So now it's on Wednesdays. It's going head-to-head.
Yeah, live.
Now, a lot of people are upset about this, but to me, this couldn't excite me more. Like, I say this all the time, I love the Monday Night Wars back in the day. Mm-hmm. I loved them taking shots at each other, one show coming out 3 minutes before going live on TNT like they used to do. It just made Monday nights exciting, and I used to watch 2 TVs at the same time because I was so into it. I'd put Nitro and Raw up, and I'd be watching them both. You don't have to do it nowadays because you can record it, and like you can watch it when it is, but like... I think this is NXT to me is AEW or AEW is NXT. It's those indie guys. Mm-hmm. It's that Phil. This is like the perfect new beginning of a wrestling rivalry for me. But you seem to be a little upset about it.
I guess upset's not the right word because whatever you hear the whole trope like, whatever's better for the boys is what's better for wrestling.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, because of the money influx that they're going to be putting in NXT, that means that the NXT talent's going to get more money. That means that they're also going to probably hire more guys.
Yeah.
So you're going to see more guys taken from the Indies to go to NXT.
And they get 2 hours now to really
Yes.
showcase their talent.
Yeah.
Because before, you would see like Velveteen Dream on an episode, and then maybe it would be 3 episodes before he was on again.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get those guys all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and NXT has a lot of talent right now.
They do. They have a lot of good talent.
Right now.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if you see more guys other than Tyler Breeze and Fandango go down.
Paula Cruz, different people like that.
Yeah.
I can see them going and being regulars on there.
I could see like Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins going down.
Now, the main concern right away is idiots on the internet start speculating, well, this is the end of it because Vince McMahon's going to take it over and control it. That doesn't seem to be the case from the reports that I'm reading.
Well, what else are they supposed to say?
Is that Vince really is trying, with XFL starting, that he's going to be really tied up with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
And that this is still, you know, Triple H even tweeted it, this is still NXT. It's just live every week now. There's no more spoilering it.
Yeah.
And it's 2 hours now. And that's it. You know, of course I read people who were big AEW marks saying this is a diss, this is a dig. But what did you really expect the WWE to do? I mean, think about it. They always owned Wednesday nights, right? Wednesday nights was NXT. It was the only wrestling show on Wednesday nights. Here comes this new upstart one who, this isn't ROH.
No.
This isn't New Japan.
No.
This is a company. People who say that the WWE are not afraid of AEW are full of shit. Because they are backed by a billionaire.
Yes.
They have Moxley, Jericho. They have namely people.
Mm-hmm.
You're goddamn right they're a threat. They're a major threat. The Young Bucks are majorly popular. Kenny Omega's popular. Of course they're a threat. So what do you do to a threat? You just sit there and go, yeah, you can have it. Or do you go, shit, we got to up our game now to match these guys? You're just going to lay over and let them like take your night?
You said a lot of stuff there, so I'm going to go back.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think this is a diss towards AEW. You moved something that was yours special from the network, and like you're getting money for it. I agree.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money going into production costs to make that live.
Yeah.
Like that's not just filming at Full Sail.
Yeah.
Like this isn't training camera guys like it used to be. This is now your this is your third brand.
Third brand.
And it's a lot of production costs.
Right.
It shows that you are viable to, something that needs attention.
Yeah.
Also, too, competition makes everything better.
Yes.
So, now that they know that they have competition for the same viewership on the same night, I'm actually more excited.
Yeah.
Maybe that it'll draw
I think for
out-
both of them.
Yeah.
If you're AEW and you're finding out that, the NXT Championship's on the line between Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream on Wednesday, you're like, well, we can't just put a lousy episode up, a filler one up.
I'm going to go a step further on this. I think the only thing that loses in this Wednesday night scenario is Raw. And here's why.
Okay.
It's a lot of money going into NXT. They're going head-to-head with a competitor. That's a lot of attention. SmackDown's going to be on Fox. Fox is going to want a lot out of that. They want so many viewers.
Yeah, they want
it's a lot of attention. That's
right.
a lot of money going into there. That's probably going to be a lot of key guys.
Mm-hmm.
That turns your number one show that used to hold Monday nights down,
Yeah.
Raw, is almost like your third priority, I think. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be like...
But maybe they'll make it better in the fact that they'll go, okay, we don't need it to be 3 hours. We're going to drop it back down to 2.
They'll never do it because the money they make from USA for having 3 hours. Let's be honest. What is USA's drawing power to advertisers on their network? It was wrestling. Like, what other gets the viewership that it does?
Right.
So they're never going to drop down. Much like the price of gas is never going to drop down. Like
You don't think they would ever drop it down to 2?
Nope. They just paid $30 million for 2 more hours of wrestling on their network. They're not going to give up another hour.
$50 million.
Or $50 million. Sorry. Like,
I don't know. Maybe it'll dry. I don't know. I mean, Raw. Yeah, you're right. Maybe, but Raw is still their flagship show. It's where their main guys are.
I really see it flip flopping here a little bit. Like, I
Yeah.
really see because they need SmackDown going on Fox.
What I hope, they're going to build. They want SmackDown. Fox wants an original show.
Yeah.
They don't want crossover guys.
Nope.
They don't want brand. They want brand split. So
Yeah.
they want original show. The part that worries me is not necessarily Vince getting involved in NXT and ruining it, but doing the whole, like they do with Raw and SmackDown, they cross over guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that shit on there.
On NXT?
On NXT.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to I don't mind once a year Seth Rollins shows up on NXT, and and he's someone's special tag partner, and it's like a little throwback anniversary thing because he was an NXT star. Actually, but I don't want it every week that Roman Reigns is now on NXT, and this is people on that, and I don't want the NXT showing up on Raw.
There's only one thing that should cross over on all those shows: the 24/7 title.
Yeah.
Have a lot someone show up on Raw.
Hell, I wouldn't even mind if the women's tag belts crossed over there too.
Something for the women to do too.
Because there's a lot of good women wrestling on it right now.
And there's a lot they haven't shown. Chelsea Green.
Well, they just signed Santana Garrett. Which I was really excited about because I like Santana Garrett. And I remember talking to her last year at All In about it, and it's cool that she's there. You know, that was a good pickup for them.
Yeah.
So they're going to really, and you're not going to see call-ups as much either.
No.
Like Gargano and Cole and them aren't going anywhere now.
No.
Neither are the Street Profits. They're all they were going to go.
Staying on NXT.
They're all staying on NXT because they need that now. It's not going to be as much as you get called up. You're going to see guys I think go down.
Oh yeah, like I said, Hawkins and Ryder would be perfect to go down.
Yeah.
I would be fine with. I think there's guys that are long in the tooth that would help guys develop faster for that NXT product. You could get. I'm trying to think who else. The B team could go well down there.
Right.
Trying to just think of other guys off the top of my head that could go down, and I think it would work out well. But
yeah, I mean, there's a bunch. So one question of concern for mine is, I worry about it being live every week at Full Sail.
I do too. And I think that...
Because I think it could get stale with the same people kind of there.
It can. Remember when we watched Impact, when it was the best Aces and Eights stuff? It was really good.
Yeah.
And that crowd was into it.
That was all the Impact Zone.
Yeah, it was all the Impact Zone. I don't know how it goes week after week.
Yeah.
But then if you go on the road, then you up the production cost.
You do. And then... But are they still going to travel with that brand? Because that was one of the things, is a lot of the people that are in a performance center travel and are on all those other shows. I wonder if they're still going to do, a lot of the roster still travels and does... Because they tour with NXT.
They tour, but they also tour, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I feel like they travel... But I haven't seen any advertisements for NXT traveling in a while.
I don't know.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just going to do that Florida loop. Because if you ever watch on... social media, there's an NXT loop that's national.
Yeah.
That's the guys that always do whatever. But then there's a small Florida loop for the people that are really green or people that are just signed.
And they're in those smaller promotions.
They're real smaller buildings. They're that's
some of them look like they're wrestling in
fairs.
Fairs and all
old
that.
school Smoky Mountain wrestling style.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of people.
They need that because that's their whole, that's how they build their young stars.
Yeah. But there's some apprehension I have about it, but I also don't think it's going to be a bad thing.
Jericho was complaining about it, I saw.
Well, it's
diluting the product. It's doing all this. Some of the things that I think are interesting is now you have people Adam Cole is engaged to
Britt Baker.
Now they're going head to head.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be married. You're rivals of each other.
Yeah.
What if they put Renee Young on NXT and she's going head to head with her husband?
Don't you think that Vince would do something like that shit?
Well, let me tell you what. Right now they have what's her name? Edge's wife.
Oh,
Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix is god awful on NXT.
That's a shame. I haven't watched NXT in a while.
She's just terrible. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She just makes a lot of screaming noise. The one thing I would say for NXT, if you're going to be live and on TV, and this is people's new window into seeing you got to get rid of her. You can keep Mauro Ranallo because he's good. But
I heard his contract's up real soon.
I would keep him because he's like the voice of NXT.
He reminds me of Joey Styles in ECW.
But you got to get rid of Desmond Wolfe or whatever his name that's with him.
Oh, he's
awful. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Nigel McGuinness.
Move him to UK NXT or whatever, but it just doesn't work.
Speaking of NXT UK, do you bring those guys over to be part of the 2-hour show?
I think once in a while they show up. Tony Storm is very marketable.
Tony Storm would be, I think, huge.
The
I think
UK
that Walter
champ,
guy.
Yeah.
I think the UK championship.
I think they do it now. They show up once in a while now.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne shows up.
I think they show up more often. I think that should be another title. There's the North American champion, There's the UK champion.
I think it's going to open eyes for people that watch WWE but don't buy the network. Because they're like, I'm not paying for that network, you know. And they don't know about it. You know what I mean? There's people that don't know about it. I think when they see it, NXT's an awesome brand.
Yeah. I've always liked NXT, but I just don't have time in my week to watch it.
Yeah, so for me, adding it to like my queue and recording it and watching it, I'm really looking forward to it.
Like, this is the first week that I can remember that I actually watched Raw and SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay attention. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Like, but...
I love that Wednesday night now I have 2 wrestling shows to watch.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to have... It's cool to me.
But I don't think it's going to be the same Monday Night War. It's not going to be a feel that have that feel because we know we can watch it again. Like, when I watch Monday...
You have to choose.
Yeah. Or you're like, all right, I'm going to watch Raw, but then I'm going to watch watch Nitro on the replay for the West Coast feed.
Yeah.
You remember that? They used to do like 11 o'clock or like 12 o'clock or something.
It would start again.
It would start again. So that's when I would watch it. Like, oh, okay, now I'll watch Nitro.
Yeah. This, with recording, it's not as head-to-head.
Yeah.
Because you can DVR it. You can stream it.
Yeah.
It's still going to be on the network, too, afterwards.
Yeah.
This, I think, takes a big hit to the network, though. Because a lot of people have the network because, like, NXT's on there and all that. It is still the cheaper route if you're going to watch every pay-per-view a year.
Yes.
It's the much cheaper route than spending $60 on a pay-per-view.
Well, if you watch one pay-per-view a year,
it pays for itself. So,
I don't know. I just don't know. Like,
what about them debuting this 2 weeks ahead of?
I don't think it matters.
You don't think it matters?
What
do you still think So do you think AEW's first show beats NXT on its 3rd week in ratings?
I almost wish they would have started at the same time.
Just to kind of
because you're like, what do you watch now? Like, what do you kick off with?
Yeah,
that's because almost now, like with NXT being 2 weeks ahead, you're like, oh, I know what they're gonna like. You see the start of storylines.
Yeah, you
can see the start of stuff. Unless they're going to do something super crazy, which I don't think. Like, what could you have? What could they have on NXT that would not make you turn the channel to AEW on their debut night? Even though we're going to be there, but if you're sitting at home, you're like, I cannot watch AEW because this is happening on NXT.
Well, I mean, for me, if I wasn't going to this, me being a bigger, I've been watching NXT for years. I'm really invested in I like all their guys. AEW, I don't know a lot about it. I know the stars, so I don't know a lot of the people. So, like, me first, like, if I recorded both these, I would never watch them live because I'm doing stuff with kids. I have soccer practice till 9 on Wednesdays.
All right, so what do you watch first?
I'd probably watch NXT first. Fast forward through a few matches, then I'd watch AEW.
But
that's me. It doesn't matter, though, because I'm still watching both of them on a record.
I get that, but there's got to be, like, the reason that they're head-to-head on the same night. Like, there's something you're going to watch NXT first.
Probably.
But, like, I don't know what... Also, too, that first episode of NXT is not going to be for you. This first episode of NXT is to get... It's like when Avengers 1, whenever a comic book reboots. It's got to tell the story all over again. Yeah. Like, it's got to be something that's going to get... Logan, because he hasn't watched it before.
Right.
It's got to get a kid that's like, oh, my parents won't pay for the network, but I watch it in my room.
Well, I kind of, I equate everything in my life to comic books. Yeah. So I kind of equate it like, if I'm reading, NXT to me is my Justice League comic. So like, it's going to go, there's a new comic book coming out that like Marvel's putting out. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to read both.
Yeah.
And so my comic, they're going to like beef it up a little bit. They're adding more members to it. It's relaunching.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still my favorite book, so I'm still going to read it first. You know what I mean? The new one, I'm going to read it after. Now, they may change my mind and make it to a point where I'm like, wow, I got to watch AEW first. I think that's going to vary for me week to week.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like, all right, AEW starting off with the world title match, starts the show. We're doing this whole thing. There's this tournament. I'll be like, oh, I got to see what happens. Barty Scroll debuted, and I want to see why he attacked
the
Young Bucks. So I'm watching that one first. Or if it's like, hey, NXT's kicking off because the Undisputed Era added a new member, someone turned, I want to see what's going on. I think for me, it's just going to be based off what's happening. But
the first, and that's why I think that WB I would have rather had them both start the same night. Like, you're like, all right, man, from the effing get-go, we're head to head.
Well, that's Vince.
Oh, yeah. But I just don't see the allure in doing it because you can almost, like, it's almost like you're, like when you're playing chess and you move first. Like, you can do whatever you want, but now I know what you're doing. So I can, like, it's a little back and forth.
I think that probably that's also, I think the WWE believes in their show, but I think that's also a safe bet because if you debut 2 weeks before, your numbers are going to be high.
Yeah.
People are going to be excited about it.
But if you lose the head-to-head,
if you lose the head-to-head right off the beginning, it's a bad sign.
Yes.
Because then you're like, oh shit, we lost the head-to-head.
Yeah.
So now you can lose that night.
Because it's your third one.
And then you go, well, it's our third one. It's their debut episode. But if you beat them, then you're golden on each end.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
yeah,
we beat them on our third episode, and that was their debut.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost, but it's their debut. We're not going to lose again, So it's a Vince move. It's a power move. I don't understand why wrestling fans are upset about it. I love wrestling. I love more wrestling. I feel competition makes it better.
Do you think this brings new eyes to the product?
I think it does.
Because the big talk now is this is the least amount of wrestling fans that there's ever been for professional wrestling, but they just spend more money.
Yeah.
So does this like what comic books is all we needed?
I think so. Yeah. NXT is a brand for younger people that are getting into wrestling. It's something exciting, and I think the thing that I'm excited about is there's a couple big guys on AEW that you could see if they let's say Jericho's contract had ended, and then next week he's on Raw.
Doesn't affect this war.
They do it or whatever. With this show, that the level that they're at, I think you could see that where let's take someone that's on the NXT roster is not getting used, his contract ends, and then next week someone like a Sean Spears, then the next week he's on AEW. You'll get that old school. That's what I'm excited about. That old school thing going on, or you have an AEW guy that didn't work out, and then maybe he shows up in NXT. I think you'll see that where you can do that with those two brands because they're very similar, indie talent wise. A guy that's a big indie star. Let's say Will Ospreay, his contract comes up.
Yeah.
Start tweeting, who do I go to? Where am I going? And then you're tuning in to both of them to see who's going to show up.
Yeah.
I think it builds excitement. I think it's good for the business. Jericho said that it kind of dilutes the product or whatever. I'm I don't really agree with that one.
I would have agreed if this was 20 years ago during the Monday Night Wars, but now you don't consume wrestling the same way you used to.
Right.
You don't you just things change. If you'll skip over things you don't like now, but it'll still.
Who in your mind right now has the better roster?
NXT.
You think that they have the better because they have the more deeper roster?
Yes. I think that AEW is taking an old NWA approach, where they're going to have key guys, and they're going to have key guys that are going to be in crucial spots, but their undercard is going to fluctuate a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like their undercard, you're going to see, like you're seeing now with they're announcing the women for the Casino Royale thing. Yeah. Those aren't all women that's going to stay with the company. That's all. There's going to be a lot of fluid pieces that are I'm going to help out. I'm going to go almost also you see in ROH and stuff, where NXT guys are NXT guys. You only see them if they take them to Evolve. It's not going to be the same.
Well, I kind of hope down the road that maybe if AEW continues to grow, that they do their own type of performance center type stuff and start building their own stars.
Well, they got that. They have the potential. They've hired Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, and there's a lot of guys.
That's when you're there when you start building your own talent, your original talent. Mm-hmm. Someone like the Street Profits. Yeah. Built, homegrown.
Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on. I also feel like I said, it's almost like an NWA feel to AEW sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised if more people decide to partner with them. Maybe Impact. I don't think ROH is going to do that because they're owned by Sinclair Publishing. Yeah. Impact is owned by another company. It's Canadian.
Well, you have what's his name who owns NWA. He's launching an NWA show. Apparently, it's coming to. I don't know where he hasn't, but Billy Corgan had that announcement last week that NWA is starting a show. I mean, they have what's his name as their champ?
Oh, what's his name? Mickey James' husband.
Yeah.
I just think Magnus.
Magnus, yeah. They have him and James Storm as their American champion.
And Eli Drake is signed with NWA.
Yeah, so they're I guess they're going to have some show somewhere. I don't know what channel it's going to be on or whatever, but I don't know. What's going on with that? Who wants to watch that? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he dropped the ball with that, or it's like a.
And Impact keeps losing people left and right, so I don't even know how they're afloat anymore.
Well, but people also like they just signed what's her face? Tennille Dashwood just signed with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like they're getting people to go there.
Surprised Tennille Dashwood couldn't get signed by AEW. Emma?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. She's got to be a problem or something.
Or maybe she just doesn't want to go there right away. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Why wouldn't you not want to? You're on network television, weekly programming, and in the limelight. You know.
Yeah. But Jordan Grace. What's a Blanchard? I can't remember her name now. Her first name.
Tessa Blanchard.
They have a pretty good women's roster there.
An Impact.
Yeah, and they have guys that aren't bad. Like they have. Rich Swann. They have,
just when's it
Brian
on? When
Cage.
do you watch it?
That's a problem. That's why I said like they need to. Those are a lot of guys. If somehow Impact got over to AEW, I think it'd be a big deal.
Yeah.
Or they shared talent or did something.
Yeah.
Like,
I think another thing that's going to be a challenge for both brands is now they have to worry about advertisers. And pleasing advertisers and doing all that stuff. So some of the things that NXT is allowed to get away with because they're on the network. Yeah. Now you got to be like how they are on Raw. Like, well, the advertisers don't like that. You can't do that. That's a no-no. This is a no-no. You got to tone that down. Which AEW is going to come across that too. Dealing with all that.
I mean, with that shot with the blood, they already got it.
They're already getting stuff with that. So it's for both of them because NXT right now the only commercials they have are for the network. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about that right now, but you are now. Now that you're on USA.
Seems like the only one that wants to have a more adult programming is Fox.
Yeah. Fox wants to be a little bit more edgy. Fox wants to actually have it almost like it's real. I mean, there's these talks floating around now that CM Punk wanting to go work for Fox and do a WWE like wrestling show where like a sports center afterwards where he talks the world of professional wrestling.
I was reading about that.
Because he's not tied into like WWE. They would just talk about all that. Yeah. They would talk about AEW and WWE and all that,
Which would be weird.
Weird, but I mean, that's a draw.
Yeah.
What's he know a lot about more than hockey or whatever he talks about?
Yeah, or he does mixed martial arts. So.
Yeah. But, look, what do you think, AEW or NXT?
NXT.
He's your son.
Well, he has to, he has to learn. He'll watch AEW. He'll learn.
I just don't know a lot about it, Ken.
Well, open your eyes.
Learn about it. It's new. It'll open some eyes. They got a lot of good talent. They got a lot of good guys. It'll be good.
Yeah. I'm excited. I want to see the story potential behind AEW because the characters are there. They are charismatic. People will follow them.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys got over like they always talk about they were part of Bullet Club in New Japan. Like they have a storyline there. They just got over because of their matches. Like, put them behind a storyline. Put them doing stuff. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's what's going to drive weekly Justin Furrow's mouse. That's what's going to drive weekly programming.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be interesting to see. We're looking forward to it.
Yes. We're going to the DC show. We might go to the Pittsburgh show. Tickets go on sale tomorrow for that.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you think. AEW, NXT, or how about people just stop fighting and like them both? Yeah. I know that's like a thing that you can't really do nowadays, but I like them both.
I love that people were like, okay, so we're getting into this, so we're not going to we're not done with talking about it. So you get people like Jim Cornette who hates anything new. Yeah. And there's all these people that are just like, oh, all you people that just defend AEW. I'm like, well, yeah, you got to defend them a little bit because they haven't done anything yet. Like, give them a chance. Like, no, it's not going to be, 60-minute Broadways between Flair and Steamboat down in North Carolina. It's new style wrestling. Yeah. This isn't going to be whenever, the great Harley Race won with a vertical suplex, won the NWA championship in 1970, whatever. Yeah. Like, this is new. Yeah, shit evolves.
You're just allowed to like both. Yeah. That's what I don't understand. Like, I see people that who I know maybe were NXT fans, like people who hate the WWE don't want to admit NXT's pretty good. You watch NXT, it's good. You're gonna see good stuff. I mean, Adam Cole, people loved Adam Cole in the ending thing. Adam Cole was great. Velveteen Dream is great.
Because it's a faction that has more than 3 people.
They have a lot of good stuff. And then I saw the comments, they're like, NXT's going to bury them. That show sucks. And they're like, what? This is good. Like them both.
Yeah.
Like I said, using a comic book reference, if I got 2 good comic books on a Wednesday and now I had a 3rd one, I'm excited. I got more to read. I got more good stuff to look at. I'm going to watch all of it. I'm going to watch 4 hours of wrestling on Wednesday nights. I'll probably fast forward through some of the stuff that I don't like, but that's the beauty of it.
I probably won't watch Raw and SmackDown unless something good happens. I have to go back and watch it.
Well, I have watched Raw and SmackDown the same way I've watched it for the past 15 years. Whenever DVRs came out, I fast forward through the shit I don't like, and I watch the stuff I do like. And you know what? It's fine.
Yep.
Some weeks I go, nah. Other weeks I go, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. Like, I really right now on Raw and on SmackDown enjoy what they're doing with Buddy Murphy.
Yeah,
He's had a great match with Roman Reigns, and then he had a great match with Daniel Bryan. He beat Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Like, they're really pushing this kid and giving him some stuff, and he is an incredible performer.
Yeah.
He's a really good he got the size, and he has the speed of a luchador.
I love whenever he's standing, and he's almost as big as Roman Reigns, and he was the Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, I mean, the dude is big, the dude is strong, but I mean, he runs, and he flips, and he flies, and does all that other stuff, the mat wrestling. Good, he's good. I'm glad that they're doing more with him.
Yep, me too.
It's good to see. I mean, I hate the Kevin Owens stuff, but we could go on and on and on about this. But there you go. So, Logan, like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.